Hey everybody, it's Deborah, your beauty barista, and I want to share some tips with you today on how to do quick and easy makeup looks that are going to stay with minimal products, minimal time, and minimal hassle. I'm going to start now with, I've already done my skincare, so I'm going to start with my foundation routine, and this is what I use pretty much all year round. And even though I live in a humid climate, I like to make sure that my makeup's going to stay on all day because I'm not that girl that I want to go back and forth to put it on and reapply and touch up and all of that. The first thing I'm going to show you that I use is the foundation primer that I love. I only use about the size of a pea. I'll show you how much, about there. I like to warm it together in my hands before I put it on my face, and it's so silky smooth. That's one of the comments I get all the time about this. It will keep your makeup on longer. It fills in fine lines and wrinkles and pores without clogging your pores. And it gives you that extra staying powder plus a smoother finish before you put your foundation on. The next thing I want to show you is what I call my magic wand. This is an under eye corrector. It's great for all skin tones, whether you're bronze or ivory. And I love it because, as you can see, I have darkness in these areas around my eyes. I've always had it. It's just the way my eyes are. And whether I've had too much sleep or not enough, they are always there. So what I love about this is it has a doe foot applicator. So you just kind of dab it in there and dab it in over here. I like to use either my finger or a concealer brush because it has a little bit more, it's a little, there you go here. And if you want, you can put it right over your eyelid as kind of like a eyeshadow primer as well. And once that's all blended in, I'll just give it a second to settle in. Next thing I want to do is CC cream. A lot of times I use CC cream, which stands for complexion correction, all winter long, all summer long. And I love it in a humid climate because it'll stay on without running off my face. But in addition to that, since I have drier skin, it helps my skin stay moist and hydrated for up to 10 hours. It's not going to make you oily if you have oily skin either. So that's the cool thing. The other thing about the complexion correction foundation is it adjusts to your natural skin tone. So if you get a little darker in the summer, sometimes depending on how much sun I've gotten, I have to bump up to a deeper or, go down to a lighter one depending on my skin tone. You'll know that when you put it on. You either look like you have a dirty face or a pale face. So I use about a squirt and a half. And again, I rub it together and I kind of apply this like it's a moisturizer because I guess you could consider it a tinted moisturizer. And you can't really, some foundations you don't want to smash it, but this is not one of those. And then I always like to rinse off my hands a little bit so I don't get it all over everything else. Because it does have staying powder, it does not easily come off without some kind of cleanser or soap and water. Now, after I've done that, I'm going to let that set a second. Sometimes I stop right here, put some translucent powder on because I don't like that shine and that kind of gives me that silky setting look. But today I'm going to add on my regular foundation, which is a matte wear 3D finish. It's a Time-Wise product, so it does give you some anti-aging benefits. I always put it on the back of my hand, maybe about the size of a pea, if you can see that. Now I do use my liquid foundation brush for this. I just put a little bit of that on, and most of the time I don't need to use all of it. And just kind of blend that in as I go. I love this liquid foundation brush. I will do another video on the best way to clean your brushes, which it is important to have your brushes clean. So there we go with that. Sometimes I like to go back over it with a blending brush. I love this. It's so soft and it really blends nicely. And then make sure it's all blended in. I also like to add, if I'm going to really complete this look if it's not an everyday look with just CC cream only. I love our concealer. Now I'm using the very light. I want this to look a little lighter than my normal foundation shade, just to put in there and just to cover up that dark area that I have, because sometimes it may want to sneak through. I use my foundation brush again, and I love that it's angled because I can get into that corner. And my nails are longer, so I can't always get into that corner the way I'd like to. And just kind of pat it, not rub it, to make sure it stays where I want it to be. And again, I'll go over it with my foundation blending brush just to smooth that out. Now, one of my summer tricks, you're gonna love this, taking my finishing spray and just going over my face like 2 or 3 times. Once that sets in, I like the look, because this look really gives me a, I would say, more of a soft finish, and it sets that foundation in so it doesn't settle into any pores, just in case I do get really hot and sweaty throughout the day. I wear this look when I'm out golfing in Florida weather, so I know that it has staying powder. The next thing I'm going to do is my eyes. This is what I call my 5-minute look. Today I'm going to use one of our liquid foundation, or liquid, I'm going to use the liquid eyeshadow, which once you put it on, it dries to a finish and it doesn't get in the creases. The one thing I'm going to use for this is, again, my concealer brush, just to make sure I've blended that in. The color I'm showing you is called Light Beam. Light Beam is probably the #1 shade that I sell, because not only can you use it by itself for a quick 5-minute look, for a very minimalist look, I might add, to one that I'm going to use as a base. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that too. So again, I'm using my concealer brush. I think the 2 brushes you should always have is a concealer brush and a blending brush, which I'm going to show you soon. I'm going to let that set in and dry just a second. The next thing I'm going to do is a second color, which is a little darker, and I'm going to put that just above and below my crease of my eye. And I only need a little bit because I just want it as an accent. So the next thing I'm going to do is, guess what? Yep, I'm using my concealer brush again. And I'm just going to kind of make sure that it's even on both sides. Just kind of blend it in. And it does dry super fast, but it still is blendable after it's dry, which is another thing that I love about this. So I think I've got that in the place where I want it to be. What do you think? I love this color because it really pops my eye color. I want to pick up another brush here, and you could stop here. I mean, there is no wrong or right when you're doing eyeshadow. It's what accentuates your eye shape, your eye color. I like to use neutrals and browns because of my blue eyes. I have some purples I use, but they're brown plums, so that really pops that eye color. But if you have brown eyes, you can pretty much use any color you want. It goes with everything. So I'm going to use, I believe I'm going to use Burnished Bronze. So this is one of our Chroma Fusion eye colors, which is very pigmented, so it stays on a lot longer. One of the things I love about our compacts is they're magnetic, so they don't fall out, and they're easy to travel with. So when I put my accent color in, I'm going to put it right here, the outer third of my eye, not to go beyond the crease of my eye, up into the crease just a little bit. And same thing on the other side. And I know you're probably going, that looks like I would never do that. The trick is the blending, trust me. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my blending brush. Remember the 2 brushes I think everybody should have? The blending brush and the concealer brush. That's right. Now I'm going to blend. I always teach people to do a windshield wiper type movement. So windshield wiper movement. And you can see how that really pretty shimmery color underneath, the shimmer shines through just a little bit to give me a nice accent. but it blends so beautifully. And you cannot overblend these colors. You really can't, because they stay. And they stay on all day. Even when it's hot, I can go like this, and as you can see, no color came off. I love this. So I think I've blended that enough. Next thing I'm going to show you is, I think I'm going to show you how I do eyeliner. A lot of times I like to do eyeliner with my eyeshadows because having blue eyes, sometimes I just get tired of using a bronze or a brown. Black is a little harsh for an everyday look. So I'm going to use one of my favorite colors. It's one of our Chroma Fusion eyeshadows that's called Merlot. Now I like this smudger brush, and you can use any smudger brush that you have with a small tip. And I think I got that enough. I'm going to go to the other side. And really, because I can't see it, I'm just following by the feel of my eyelash line. That's all I'm doing. And then I'll just kind of smudge it underneath here just to give it an accent. I think it went down a little too far. There we go. Now I know that looks kind of like, oh, something's missing. There is. So a lot of times I go back over with a sponge just to kind of clean up anything. If I went beyond the corner of my eye, I like to clean that up a little bit. I also like to take my, where'd it go? My powder brush and kind of powder down. In fact, at this point, I think I will use that translucent powder. I love this translucent powder. It just gives you such a soft look. It's also amazing when I do bridal looks for my brides, and even my own when I was a bride last year. I like to use this because it doesn't have that flashback. So it's great for pictures. It doesn't give you that washed out look. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to let that sit a little minute, and I'm going to do my eyebrows. Now we have many eyebrow products. We have eyebrow pencils. We have tinted brow gel. We have a limited edition brow kit right now, which I think I'll go ahead and use that. Let me grab it here. And the limited edition brow kit has a pomade that you can put on that I like. I'm going to use that today, actually. So the pomade is just like a light wax. We have 3 different shades. I'm using the one for blonde, even though I'm more of a platinum blonde gray at this point. I was pretty lucky when my hair grew out because people have to pay for this color. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is use the other side of this brush, and I'm going to put the blonde color in there, and just very lightly. I think that with that, it just gives you a natural look. You don't want your, I don't know, you don't want your eyebrows to look like it has, I don't know, like you did it with a stencil. It doesn't look right. It's kind of weird, actually. They give you this little brush inside so you kind of blend it a little bit, blend out the color, make sure it's all filled in. You can see such the difference that I did with that. I'm going to take a highlighting brush at this point and put a little bit of highlight right there on my brow bone. Gives that a little bit of a highlight. Put just a little dab more on there. There we go. All right, what do you think so far? All right, next thing we're gonna do is mascara. I can't find my mascara in this mess here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Found it. It rolled away. I like this new Great Heights mascara. It goes on thin, but it allows you to put a couple coats on. So all the lashes are separated and they look fuller when you're done. So I love this brush because it's also curved. And I like personally a curved brush because it kind of, I don't know, I think it's easier to see how it goes on your eye. It kind of adjusts to the shape of your eye. And I like to wiggle it a little bit. And yet you can see, now that I'm starting to put mascara on, how light my eyelashes really are. They are pretty blonde. They've always been that way my whole life. And I just kind of wiggle them down at the bottom so that the lashes on the bottom just catch those few little bit of mascara. I'm going to go back over. Usually I go over my lashes Oh, I would say 3 to 4 times. If I'm in a hurry, I'll do it 3 times. But I think I just got something in my eye. Sometimes I pick up some little fuzzies. There we go. And I think I'm going to go over one more time. What do you think? Just one more time. I want them to be nice and full today because it really opens up my eyes. Yes, you could do false eyelashes. I prefer not to. I have a lot of sensitivities to glues and different preservatives and things. So to be honest with you, these products, Mary Kay products, are the only things I've put on my face in the last 35 years. I know they work. I know they're good. I know they're made in the United States. I'm going to go one more time over here. All right. I think I'm liking this. And you can see my eye color is just really popped. So the next thing I'm going to do is I need some cheek color, right? I'm going to mix. So on this palette, I have first of all, I need my cheek brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this short side right here and go in the contouring color. I'm also going to go, this is a quick, easy way. Instead of doing each color separately, I'm going to do like a combination of all the colors on one brush and then put it on. I'll show you. This color I'm going to go today right up here because I want it to look pretty natural. And at the very tip, I'm going to go across the highlighting color, which is down there. And when I put it on, I'm going to blend. And so you can see the lower color, which is where I want to accentuate the hollow of my skin, of my face, and then the lighter color. So again, I'm using, I can show you, I'm using this color, loaded it up pretty good. And then I'm going to use, I should put these all on the same palette. And then I'm using this color over here. And then I'm going to use this color at the bottom. And again, and you want to go upward, outward motions. Now, if you wear glasses, you want to put your glasses on first because you don't want this color to go above the rim of your glasses, of the earpiece. And you don't want to go too far up and too far down, like down in here. So I'm going to blend this a little bit. And really my go-to is using an all-over brush with my colors. Last thing I'm going to do before I finish is I'm going to give it another spray of finishing spray. I'll let that dry. And then all that's left to do for me today is finish my hair, put some lipstick on, and a pair of earrings would probably be good today too.